Well, there you have it. I have beaten Black Ops 7 zombies. Wait. Before you click off, yes, I know this is a Call of Duty video, and I know COD isn't the most popular these days, but you still may be entertained for the next 10 minutes, so enjoy. Meaning, I've completed all the camo challenges, I have diamond badges for everything, got all the calling cards, except Dark Ops, and even all the reticles. It took almost 66 hours and was fun, I guess. No, it actually was enjoyable. I mean, obviously, a lot of the time I'd play with no volume and have one of 3 podcasts on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for escaping with us.
Or be half watching a basketball game, because there is a lot of grinding. But overall, it was satisfying to check off all the challenges. So allow me to guide you through my journey on how I beat Black Ops 7 zombies. Starting off with the infamous Camo Grind. This year's camo challenges were easier than past years, requiring only 1,000 headshots, half of what it was last year, and some straightforward special camo challenges. Easily the most tedious were the elite kills, but even so, it wasn't too bad. I played survival on exit 115 and would simply take out the bear when it spawned in, and then save and quit in order to replay that round, and take out the bear again. The hardest weapon to get elite kills for was the launchers, but a workaround to make it easier was to damage the bear with a different weapon first, and then blow them to smithereens with the launcher. Worked out to be about 2 round 30 games per gun in order to complete every camo challenge for a weapon. The first game for the 1,000 headshots and special challenges, and usually another mini game to round 10 just for the 20 kills without taking damage challenge. And then finally a second round 30 game for the elite kills using the save and quit method for the bears. I did also complete many of the weapons through natural play, and just stayed mindful of when I had finished a weapon so I could switch it out for the next. This is also how I got the reticle mastery. It's a whopping 2,000 kills for 32 different reticles, but by constantly switching out my reticle once I reached the 2,000 kill criteria, it wasn't so bad to grind out the remaining reticles I had left after the camo grind was over. Diamond badges were also fairly straightforward. I was mindful of which equipment and streaks I got the gold badges for, so then I could switch it out and purposely use something else. The only badge that required some ingenuity was the Hunter Bot. The Hunter Bot locks on to elite or special enemies and does significant damage to them, but I wasn't about to use Hunter Bots to kill 100 elites. So I realized that you can do damage to regular zombies with them by directly releasing it at a zombie, and with an insta-kill active, you can easily take out multiple zombies at once. Now, the exciting stuff, the calling card challenges. With the Camo Grind taking significantly less time than it took me in BO6, I was able to actively focus on calling card challenges much sooner. Calling cards are pretty cool. They ask you to engage with all aspects of the game and reward you with some cool pictures. A vast majority of them you'll acquire from natural play, and there are some that are a little grindy. 10,000 score streak kills took me quite a while, because I was not using score streaks when I was camo grinding, so despite it being a Prestige 1 challenge, it was literally the final calling card I completed. There are also calling cards that ask you to use different augments that maybe you wouldn't normally use, but pretty much all of the calling card challenges revolve around get kills with X, Y, and Z. But to be fair, that is likely where the Dark Ops calling cards usually shine, typically offering much more interesting and unique challenges, so I may have to check those out. But for the regular calling cards, there were still some interesting ones. The ones that give you an actual challenge, like a gameplay limitation, or force you to do something that wouldn't naturally occur. Some standouts for me were reaching round 20 while only using a knife, reaching round 15 without purchasing anything, and any side Easter egg related challenges, such as rehydrate at exit 115 that requires you to gather ingredients to make a free perk fountain drink, or find a misplaced RCXD, which asks you to find a hidden RC remote and complete a little racing minigame, or even become an axe throwing champion, which if you really look into it, asks you to change the present by going into the past. Nice detail. However, by far the most interesting calling card challenges were at Prestige Master. I of course hit Master Prestige after doing all these challenges. In fact, they reward so much XP I was able to fully Prestige in an hour and a half. Twice. At Prestige Master, the set of calling card challenges revolve around Relics. Relics are super cool. If you don't know what they are, they're unlocked by completing hidden challenges in Cursed mode, and can only be unlocked after completing the main Easter egg for a map. These relics apply special modifications to make your game more difficult, such as introducing mimics, having no power-up drops, limiting you to only being able to buy 4 perks, and the coolest one to me was actually the most recent one found by the zombies community, and it makes it so each round your weapon changes but keeps the same rarity and pack-a-punch level, bringing some great variety on a per-round basis. These relics also increase the tier of your cursed game based on how many you have equipped. and at each tier you unlock access to more cool gameplay additions, such as regenerating armor and an extra level to pack a punch in your weapon rarity. So for these last remaining relic related calling card challenges, one of them required me to survive 50 rounds on tier 3 cursed, meaning I needed enough relics to reach that tier, and so I decided to just collect them all. And it took some time. They were tricky to get too. The 9 relics are split into 3 tiers. The first 3 you can get after round 20, the next after round 40, and the final 3 relics can only be obtained after round 60. I touched on it earlier, but to unlock a relic, you must complete a hidden challenge, which then unlocks a relic trial, which then gives you the relic. The first tier of relics, known as the Grim relics, were naturally the easiest, needing only to get to round 20 to do the trial, but the Sinister and Wicked relics are where the problems began. Unlocking the relic trials are fairly straightforward. It's usually just a tiny task or requires you to collect something. But with the tier 60 Wicked relics, those collecting tasks are dragged out, like having to answer a phone every 10 rounds starting at round 20, going all the way up to 60. But the actual big issue with these tasks is they don't really work if you save and quit, and can glitch. To unlock one trial, I had to collect a wine bottle from a bear on round 40 by defeating it with only a knife. But because I grabbed the second wine bottle I needed first, the bear wouldn't drop his, meaning I had to restart my entire game. With the Sam's Drawing relic, you have to place every rarity of weapon in order into Chompy the garbage can, starting with gray, then green, blue, purple, gold, and finally a ray gun. But if you save and quit, the game seems to forget you already dropped the previous rarities into Chompy. So when I loaded my game after I save and quit to feed my ray gun to Chompy and unlock the trial, my trial was nowhere to be seen. So I once again had to restart my round 40 game. This meant that in order to unlock all the relics without the possibility of something not working, I had to go the full 60 rounds with only 15 minutes of total break time so my game wouldn't auto save and quit. So I did just that. But once you unlock a relic trial, they are actually kind of cool. You have to fight waves of enemies with a certain stipulation, like not being able to buy ammo or using only explosive damage, or just having to fight all of the mimics. The round 60 trials were pretty intense because if I failed, I would have to restart from the very beginning. By far the hardest relic trial was the bus trial. I unlocked it by completing a round using only a trap, easy enough, and I was lucky to get a Ravager round on round 60. The actual trial asks you to get kills with brain rot. I knew this going in, and with fully researched augments for brain rot, I could amass an army of zombies pretty easily. But the HVT round is when things got sticky. You see, I wasn't sure if I could damage the bear with my guns or just other brain rotted zombies, and I didn't have much time left on my pause timer, meaning if I paused to search something up and took a little too long, it would auto save and quit, and I may lose all my round 60 progress and access to the trial. I also wanted some pause time to spare because I had to do a different relic trial after by beating the Easter egg boss on round 60. So the bus relic trial took me 40 minutes. And with no health bars, it felt like it took 40 hours. So I ran and went down and ran, hopelessly trying to damage the bear HVT and brain rot any zombies along the way. Eventually though, through sheer willpower, the bear went down and I was victorious. And so I then outmaneuvered the Easter egg boss, look at the composure, very composed, and made sure to bring in a war machine to rinse any more bear HVTs that would appear in the final trial. The war machine worked wonders, and I now had all 9 relics for Ashes of the Damned, and a bonus one from the DLC map Astra Malorum. Now I could actually do the final set of calling card challenges. Completing 50 rounds on each curse tier naturally happened, and the final 3 calling cards were the most fun of them all. And I was able to do them all in one game. Those calling card challenges being reach round 15 without buying ammo with the bus relic active. The bus relic makes it so zombies regenerate health. Reach round 20 with the rampage inducer active with the Sam's Bear relic, which causes rounds to start even faster. And finally, reach round 15 on curse 3 difficulty in the starting room without opening any doors. A really fun challenge that I comboed with the Sam's Drawing relic that gave me a different weapon every round. So I fired up Ashes of the Damned, and with the help of the plants and vending machine for bonus loot, I was able to amass all of the perks and enjoyed the round by round weapon variety, and happily claimed the last 3 of 4 calling cards I needed for 100%. I then survived an additional 10 rounds in the starting room just for fun, then left to use my salvage to get the remaining score streak kills I needed for the final calling card, which I did, and it was over. I got 100% completion in Black Ops 7 Zombies. I told my mom, she said good job, and I began writing the script, and here we are. So in closing, my final thoughts on BO7 Zombies, I think it's great. Continues the evolution of modern zombies that started with Cold War, offering a streamlined upgrade system that allows you to constantly increase your power level as the game goes on. It has fun wonder weapons, challenging boss fights, and leaves me looking forward to the new maps that will be releasing as the year continues. Now, go ahead and melee macchiato punch that subscribe button. Thank you for watching so I can justify 100%ing zombies as a form of being productive, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.